Welcome back to another episode. My name is Dan Trinati. I'm the CEO and founder of 360 Finance Group and the Trinati Insurance Agency. And today we're going to show you how we saved one of our clients, Tash, from making a $100,000 mistake inside of her indexed universal life policy. And if you do want to get in contact with us, whether that's reviewing current annuity that you have or an indexed universal life plan, a whole life policy, a term life, you need to organize everything about your retirement. We have folks on the financial advising side as well. Just go over to 360financialgroup.com, go to the contact page, and more than happy to set up a call. But I love IULs, and this is my bread and butter on the IUL and the annuity side, but there's a lot of stuff there that agents don't really know what they're doing too much, and it sucks, and I do not enjoy that part of it, but it makes it really fun being able to work with clients that actually care about their future and setting them up the right way. And it's not for everybody, but I want to make sure that you guys are well educated before you ever make a decision to do an IUL or an annuity. But in today's call, I really want to run through this specific scenario. We had Tash. She was paying $188 a month into an IUL plan, and she thought it was going to help fund her retirement, but in reality, it was built for the agent and not for her. What I mean by that, there's just way too much death benefit in place and not nearly enough going into the actual policy. And after 30 to 40 years, her policy was actually set to expire. The agent said, oh, it's gonna have a lot of cash value. No, it wasn't. I'm gonna show you guys exactly why it wasn't designed for her. And again, she's gonna have no insurance and no retirement income at the end of it. So instead, what we decided to do is get a plan in place where she's gonna be able to generate about $38,000 per year in tax-free retirement income and have more death benefit protection for her family at the same time. And if you guys are following along, I never like to combine a bunch of death benefit inside of an insurance contract if you're using it for cash value growth. You can do both, but it's better to have one policy for death benefit and another one for cash value. Keep them separate. It does just in multitudes of ways. It just benefits you as a client in tons of different ways to have them separate. But what her situation was with Tash, she's in her early 40s. She's got a couple young kids. She makes about $12,000 per month, self-employed. She was putting $188 a month into an IUL policy with a $350,000 death benefit. It's just that death benefit, if she actually wanted cash value, it should have only been like less than $100,000. Actually, probably half that, like $50K. And she just did not know. And again, good for her for actioning on stuff. That is always step one. And most people are just too afraid to action, but good for her for getting that stuff figured out and getting this fixed before it was too late. And again, at her age, the death benefit was just way too high, and I'll show you guys that in a second with the actual illustration that she sent over to me. So when the death benefit's really high, that means the fees in the policy are also very high. And again, her policy was going to lapse in about 30 to 40 years when she's going to need it the most. And the agent probably told her, no, it's not going to lapse. There's a way that it wouldn't lapse, but it's on misleading information, so it's going to lapse. And I'll show you guys why here in a second. So this was a contract that the agent signed her up with. And I know this could look like a lot of information on the screen here as you guys are looking at this, especially if you're newer into the IUL space, but big flag that I'm seeing right now, just right off the bat. If you look at in either one here, and I'll explain the difference in the columns here. In a second, we have the alternate scale, non-guaranteed, and the non-guaranteed values at 6.25 and 8.45. Even if we just look at what's called this non-guaranteed section over here, there are 5 zeros in a row. What that means, if you ever see more than 1 zero, even sometimes just a zero in the policy, it is not designed for maximum cash value. Make sure you're getting a second opinion if you want a maximum cash value policy. That is red flag number one. An IUL should never illustrate at 8.45%. It's not sustainable. I would never buy an IUL assuming it's going to do 8.45. Could it? Sure. That's a really good case scenario. This alternate scale non-guaranteed is just another way of crediting. So hey, if it doesn't do as well, you might look at 6.25%. And sorry, there's a B on my keyboard right here, and it is okay. Go away. All right, maybe we can make friends. This is going to be more realistic. If you're buying an IUL, make sure it's projecting roughly between 6 and 7%. I would say it would be normal in terms of projection, but this is even with this policy a good scenario. And even after 20 years, if you look down here, she's been putting in $45,000 and she only has $31,000 in that account. After inflation, that's nothing. She got swindled. But thankfully, Tash, if you're watching this, we're able to help you out, and I'm super thankful that all the good reviews you sent us. So thank you very much on that side, Tash. And this is just a continuation of the alternate non-guaranteed values. So you see this accumulation value, which is the amount of money they actually have sitting in the policy, it starts going down. And again, without getting too technical, when the difference between the death benefit and the accumulated value are very big, in this instance is like $300,000, she's paying a lot of freaking insurance at that age, and it's not good. The policy starts cannibalizing its stuff, and that's where all the people that talk bad about IULs, this is the example on why they talk bad about IULs, because this is a very bad IUL, and I'm with them on that. And it stinks, but there's better ways to set this stuff up that can be amazing. So when we had the conversation with Tash, we're able to restructure everything. everything for her very, very simply. And she actually had 2 kid policies that had the same thing happen. We were able to fix those too, but I want to keep this fairly straightforward for you guys here. We were able to restructure everything for Tash on one simple call here. So the first thing always started, whenever we have conversations with our clients, we always have to start out with, how can we help you? What are your goals? What are you trying to accomplish? So Tash was doing pretty well, but we actually had extra cash that she's able to put in the policy. And I don't know why the other agent didn't ask about that, but it is sold her a death benefit policy. But anyway, we're able to put in $500 a month. That's not going to crush her budget whatsoever. And the death benefit ends up being just $100,000. So if we just compare the two, $500 a month with a $100,000 death benefit versus $188 a month versus $350, you can kind of see the $500 a month with a lower death benefit, there's always going to be more cash that's growing inside the policy. So this actually decreased her fee about 3.5 times as much. I, as an agent, I get paid on how much death benefit you, as a client, gets in place. So even though Tash is putting in a lot more money on this side, I'm making it about 3.5 times less as well, which is all good. We're all about, hey, I put stuff to what we call the mom test. Is this something I would do for my mom? And we run this with all of our agents too. And if the answer is no, simple, we're not going to do it. And we're not in good faith recommend that to you. But anyway, now Tash only has $100,000 of death benefit, but she does have 2 little kids, 12 and 14. So death benefit was important. So what we did for her instead, at just $40 a month, we put on a $250,000 term policy for her. So now she has all the protection. And in this scenario right here, if she stops funding it after 26 years, it's projected to give her $38,000 tax-free for the rest of her life. So we're going to keep the IUL and the death benefit policies separate. So the death benefit is in the term policy, and on this instance, the high cash value, the IUL is only built for a high cash value policy. And with the other policy that Tash had, if we just scroll back up on the screen a little bit, I'm going to show you, she would have thrown away $100,000. So if you multiply this 2256, let's just use it. This is $90,000 here. In another couple years, like 94, 95K, she would have thrown out this money. The policy expired. When these hit 0, the policies kaput. That money all would have been thrown away. So yes, she's putting in more money now, but doing it the right way that actually hits her goals, and she's going to make roughly, and again, past performance does not indicate future performance. This is not financial advice, solely educational. But now, just by restructuring everything, she's going to have the death benefit in place for her family, and she's going to have the $38,000 roughly of tax-free retirement income at this age. She could start that earlier, or she could do a little bit later, but there's a lot more flexibility by doing the right thing for the clients when it comes to index universal life policies. So this is just another case study of clients that come to us and how we're able to help them and put them in a much better position. And again, sitting down here in Colombia, I know you guys got a lot of these recently, but I freaking love it down here. So I'm just crushing the content out here to get this stuff out to you guys. I literally came back here just this spot to film this stuff just because I'm in so much peace over here. It's so much fun and just enjoyable to actually work from a beautiful spot here. And I love it. So again, if you're a potential client or a potential agent and you want to learn some more, make sure you give us a follow. If you ever want to work together and do some traveling together and learn stuff together at the same time, I love doing fun stuff with fun people. Just go ahead, message me, and I'm more than happy to put something together. If you do want to get in contact with us from like a more serious level, currently have whether it's an IUL policy, annuities, life insurance, investments, and you want some help figuring out what's the best thing for your goals and your scenario, please just go ahead, go to that 360financialgroup.com, go to the contact page, send us a message. I appreciate you guys. This is probably the last one I might get. I'm actually on the road to Mexico next for a conference that I have for a bunch of top producers, the top agents. They send us to Mexico, so take it away from my time here in Colombia. Gonna go hang out with a bunch of folks up in Mexico for a long weekend. I'm gonna chill there for a couple more days, then I gotta head back for the family to go work on the farm for the next month or so, and then I might be back here in Argentina. I do not know yet. But anyway, I appreciate you guys as always. Any questions, let me know, and we'll connect soon.